Okay, so I want to talk about like this little crazy rumor thing. Okay, now this is what I want to say. A lot of people, as far as like, remember I told you, I've met empaths before, and when you meet an empath, you know right away it's an empath, even if it's just briefly. But by me having a past friendship with a guy, I told you the guy I used to be friends with, by me having an ex friend like that and being around him, we have a same personality. And the same way he used to get mad, I used to get mad. What I found is that empaths, you can automatically tell an empath because we take things differently. We all look at things kind of like the same way. We all are outspoken. A lot of people call empaths like they say we too much. And we're natural rebels, and we will even talk to our parents crazy because it depends on if the respect is lost and if they do something that's unrespectable in our eyes. We don't look at it as if you everything our father and mother says that we have to listen to it. We look at it as we respect you and we listen to everything you have to say until you give us a reason not to, and not look at you in a respectable type of manner. If that is that to say, that's why a lot of people call empaths growing up disrespectful. Oh no, we call stuff out as we see it. We and it's not just hayokas that are a human mirror. A lot of empaths are human mirrors. It's like we just mirror people's behavior back to them. That's why a lot of times we hear empaths online, it's like the same empathic story. Oh, they did this or that. It's like a lot of people listen to us because they're like, wow, there's very few good people left in the world, very few. Or if a lot of empaths never really usually link up together, they're usually all spread it out. So when you hear an empath talk, or when you meet an empath, you're like, wow. And another guy said that I can't think of the name of his channel. It was a Caucasian guy, and he was like, when you meet an empath, you'd be like, wow, people in the world aren't so shitty. But what happens is that people are so used to grimy people, grimy this trying to get over, blah, 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 that when they meet an empath, it's almost unbelievable. It kind of like seems like a game, but it's not a game. It's like we are real genuine. But as far as like a Hayoka, we're a little bit more, like I told you, Hayokas kind of get a reputation for being stuck up or rude. And it's nothing stuck up rude about us. I've always kind of acted like this, even when I was lost, not like a lot of people around me. But since my awakening, I'm just more skeptical of people. I'm just really not friendly with the opposite gender or nothing like that. Or family, whatever. I just don't really trust people because of so many backstabs. But anyway, I just want to say this. Now, let me talk about this. Now, as far as like, I have a reputation of being sweet, quiet, and stuff like that. But when I used to, and we all been there. It's just that I'm real enough to be open about it, and people can't stand their truth. They like to turn their nose up. Now, in relationships, for example, when I used to date a particular hustler, the Scorpio is, in Irvington Village. Now, when I was with him, even though I used to take pills a lot and stuff like that, because he sold them whatever. He was the head dude over there, whatever. And the one everybody used to go to when I moved in with him, I still didn't like when I was on the pills. I still didn't like a lot of people around me. In relationships, I don't like a lot of people around. I don't care if it's 1 or 2 days. If people come over, hang out, and stuff like that. I just don't like having a whole bunch of people in the house and I'm just sitting down there around everybody in a relationship. I'd rather just be in a room. And then after a while, I start getting agitated if it's not a cutoff time because I like to have time with my partner. Anybody who's been in a serious relationship with me, like, especially when I've been up in age, they know that I like to look up a lot of stuff online or watch movies and chill with my partner, just me and him. And like I said before, I don't mind other people coming around. It's just a cutoff time. I just don't want all that every day. So anyway, yeah, that would be one of the reasons the main people that see me upset most of the time, like at my worst, was when I used to pop pills, because it's like I'm as a person that's naturally empathic, pills make you overly empathic, overly nice, and if you get upset on those pills, especially if you're remember, and another let me slow down. Another psychic said that too. She said I have Taurus in my chart. Taurus is my north node, and I'm an Aries. So there's like two a ram and a bull. So you can get extremely beyond angry, and that's just any empath. When you deal with a person that's really, really, really nice and has no bad intentions, when you're dealing with silly people that do stuff, it's like it annoys us on a whole different type of level, and we take it differently. That's why one of the reasons they always say never screw over a good person, never screw over a quiet person, never screw over somebody that ain't all rowdy and stuff like that, because those are the type of people that can snap, because it's like we have nothing to prove, we're not bothering nobody, and people keep poking. Same thing as far as like we're gang stalking. It's like, okay, it's been a year and a half. They still, did everybody hang out? outside and gang stalking, but just like silly stuff. Like I took the cameras out yesterday, found the cameras, covered up the little ceiling fan, and then I'll leave out the room for a little bit. Like right now I'm in the front room. The minute I go back in my bedroom, each time the horn hunker blow. So that made me think the only thing I could think left is just the TV. Can they see me through that's what I'm saying, just silly stuff like that. And it can kind of like annoy you to a certain point because it's like you don't know, you can't find the head camera and TV, you be placing face down. But it's like, that's what I'm saying, they can kind of like, that messes with your mental a little bit. Not far as like thinking you crazy, but kind of a point like, it's like, okay, enough is enough. And then you see nobody got your back, that makes you kind of like aggressive because it's like, okay, they're not stopping. You get the point that don't nobody give a if. And then it's like your niceness can kind of be pushed back and you're like, okay, well, nobody give a if. It's like you start not giving a if, and that's when that cutthroat attitude comes on, especially if it's mother effers that wronged you in the past, that played a part in doing this, that you did nothing bad too, except for told your truth, if that makes sense. But let me just say this. Now, I always compare empaths and narcs to that movie Training Day. You saw how malicious and conniving Denzel Washington was. He ain't give a damn. His whole goal in mind was to set the dude up, and it really wasn't to set the dude up. It was just he was testing him to see if he was a snake. When he found out he wasn't a snake, it's like he knew the dude wasn't gonna tell on him. He just like, it's like he wanted to destroy him because he wasn't like dumb. That's kind of how empaths and narcs are. They see you not really on their little demonic level. They try to destroy you and they think you're weak. But you saw at the end when he was about to kill that guy. But just empaths, empaths can go to the extreme and actually snap at somebody's neck, which I've never done it before. But you make us mad enough because we see you as a demon. Like, for example, and I briefly talked about this Scorpio ex I was with. And I don't want people to think I'm just online talking about my exes. It's just those were my last two, long, serious relationships. The Scorpio ex was like almost 7 years. And then Narc was like almost 2 years. So this is last two. I don't give a flying fuck about them. I'm just talking. Because it's like, just stories that impacted my life and relationships. So anyway, when I told yesterday on the video that he used to get drunk a lot, and when we used to be real close, and we always had arguments all the time, but we were friends. At least I thought we were. So when he got on and he would get drunk, he would be talking real crazy, kind of like, how can I compare it? Number one thing that pisses me off, I don't like. I'm trying to, should I say, okay, I don't like being called the N-word. A lot of other stuff people could say, it pissed me off, whatever. I don't like that N-word, because it's like, I feel like that's aggressive, like you're talking to a man, and he knew that word pissed me off when he called me that, so he would call me that when he get mad and drunk. And he kind of acted like, when he got on and got drunk, he used to treat me kind of like how Tony Montana treated that woman or whatever, and his wife or whatever, and just talking to her real crazy. You throw the drink in their face, and it's like they just think they too much. I can't be touched everybody, but the point is, it's like that they doing it to show off, but it's just it's a disrespect, and that's just sugarcoated. It was really bad. I don't like disrespect. Empath can really fly off the handle and get mad and go extreme, but I'm not literally gonna kill somebody, but it's just like disrespect. The story I told you where I picked up that glass frame off the wall and just busted over his head, that's not even in my nature to do that, but you have to think about what would make a person like me do something like that. The stories I described to you in the past, like about the narc and me not even like being around people, but just disrespect, intrusiveness, like I told you, just like a lot of stuff, it's like that certain stuff can make you snap. It's like most guys, they kind of like are in a way like if you disrespect them, they're gonna knock your brains out or whatever. Or some guys will just shoot you with a gun. Women, I'm not the kind of woman like that's just gonna look a little, go around fight women. I don't really like dealing with a lot of women because I know how I am. I just don't even like a lot of cattiness around me, which is kind of like as far as like women, the conversation will be limited because it's just like we were talking about nails and hair and stuff like that, and after a while it's kind of like, okay, women don't really be on my level. A lot of women I met been kind of catty and messy and low key and competition, and even if they're prettier, even if they're not prettier, it's like I just and that's just how all empath women are towards other women. Real empaths, it's like an underlining kind of like competition vibe I don't like. But anyway, like with guys, like just disrespectful stuff. It's like this is how I feel. I feel that. And what pisses me off, I find that men, they like to do certain things and that they know that if it was switched around that they would get mad if it was done to them. For example, I'm trying to give other examples of relationships that would make me fly off the handle. Like the Scorpio ex I had. It came home one day from shopping. Remember, I told you he used to give me money to go shopping. I come back. And he didn't even, this I say, he does, people do silly stuff like, okay, they know they could trust you, but then they do silly stuff like you'll go shopping to help people watch you and follow. You don't think I know. And I know for a fact if we broke up and he doing it and getting people to watch me every day and stalk me, then I know for a fact that I know for a fact he was doing it. We was in a relationship. Because I always feel like I'm in the store shop. I'm like somebody follow, just stuff like that. But whatever. But anyway, getting niggas you don't know to watch a girl you knew for years. But anyway, whatever. But just like little stuff you do. Like if I come home and it's a house full of girls and guys in the house, even if it's a house full of guys and it's like I come home from a long day of shopping, I want to come home and relax and go. Even if I go upstairs, it's like at 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. it's like it should be a cutoff time. I don't like dealing with stuff like that. But if I come home from shopping and I see a person getting their hair braided, sitting in between the legs of a girl with Daisy Dukes on your head, I mean, regardless if I think the girl is unattractive or not, it's still disrespect. That's like, and I try to always tell guys, it's like a guy, my boyfriend coming home and I'm getting a professional massage with my shirt off. It's like, and people can say it's no comparison, but it's a comparison. Guys, to me, just do stupid stuff. And just what else do guys do that'll make me flop down? One time I'm laying in bed sleep, and a girl will go through your phone, or I'll hear his phone ring, and pick it up or see a text message, and y'all act like I'm him, and the girl will text me acting like, oh, you. I'm like, who is this? And she's like, so and so. When we went to the hotel, and I'm acting like him, and she know for sure. I think for sure she talking to him. Then it's like I know for sure you cheated. You went to the hotel, and then it's like the only thing I know how to do is to wake you up, punch you in your face. Cause if a guy, even just in general, if I felt like she was playing games or just jealousy, I wouldn't have did it. But it's just like the disrespect. So, but if a girl was to do that, then guys gonna look down on you, probably break up with you, not want to talk to you no more, treat you with such disrespect. But if you do it, that's what I'm saying. People just do stupid stuff. A lot of the times in my relationships, I don't give a damn if a guy's a player, be on a player, don't have no respect for women. A lot of the times, empathic women, or at least me, I'm speaking for me. A lot of times in my relationships with hardcore men, I touch the heart of them where they feel like they can trust me. So it's kind of like I'll know the password to their other accounts. I'll be on the fit, and a lot of women probably had it, but it's like just in general, just be open access because they know they can always have open access to my phone. It's just like a trustworthy thing. When most guys be like, "Oh, let my girl go through my phone," but just in general, it's like a open thing. They know they could trust me. I could trust them. So it's like even when the relationship is over, they just know that they had a real one, and they'll never be able to find it again, regardless of how they treated it. But whatever. But like just things that made me step off the hill. Like that time I tried to. I didn't. I wasn't really gonna run that narc over that day, but I don't even want to get into that because it's kind of like a legal thing. I don't want to talk about that online. That was an accident. I swear I shouldn't have, whatever. But I wasn't gonna do it. It was just I lost control of the car. But what led up to that is that I don't like silent treatments. Narcs do very abusive stuff. Sit in the house, and let me hurry get off this because I don't like talking about him. But just if you don't like what somebody did or said, it's like just sitting in the bed, not saying nothing with your back turned, just not saying for hours. That can make a person get upset. Then you wake up, you don't say nothing. And look up what the silent treatment is. Narc silent. That's total abuse. Even with the relationship after, when I did care a little bit, besides the magic, it's like the silence. It's like that's mental abuse because you're trying to figure out blah 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 blah. Till you wake up and realize the person is a devil, and you're like fuck you. So it is what it is. But one thing, like, how can I say things that'll make me snap? Wake up after the silent treatment. Then he did something. I was like, where you going? And he did something. Remember I told you he's schizophrenic, so they think off. And he had butted me and walked and left. And then went downstairs and just sat there with the neighbors. Now, I don't associate with neighbors. And remember, he was living with me. I don't associate with neighbors. So I already know that if we just have an argument, that you out there talking to, if you're talking to some women or sitting around women, men, whatever, I already know you're talking about me. If we just had an argument and you just, you know what I'm saying? It's just common sense. So I'll leave and go downstairs, get in the car, pull off and ride past. Then I'm just like, I know this nigga just ain't gonna ask me, he ain't gonna ask where I'm going, he ain't gonna say, it's like they do mind game, they know it's mind control. And you dealing with somebody that's like a warlock in an evil way, and during Black Magic, they mess with your mind. So they know you're gonna be like, what's going on? You come back. I went back upstairs, he's still sitting out there. Finally, I was like, you know what, let me go back downstairs. They do stuff to like mess with your mind. Is this a demonic demon that you messing with? And I was like, let me just ask for my keys back. I was like, cause I'm like, narcs will make you snap and make you want to kill him. So I was like, let me get the car keys or whatever. And I was like, give him back. And he just walked off. And it's just like, I was going to scare him, but I lost control of the car. And I didn't hit him, but I lost control. I don't want to really talk about that because it's just a bad thing. It's just by the grace of God, I don't even want to talk about that because it could probably still be an open case. I don't know. But anyway, not an open case, but it's just in general, I don't really want to talk about that. But because I totaled my car a little bit, but anyway, I want to talk about like just things that people do. Like I'm trying to think of other stuff that'll make me mad. Okay, like another thing, a lot of women who cheat in relationships or something like this, serious relationships, they can be sneaky and stuff like that. And a person find out, they'll be mad and blah 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 blah. Me, I'm the type of person, if even if I, like for example, the Scorpio is, we didn't talk or whatever, or whenever we break up or something like that, or I didn't think we was getting back together, and the situation happened where I talked to somebody else, I'll come to him and tell him, blah blah blah, I talked to somebody else. It's like, I just wouldn't feel comfortable, especially if it was like in the, not a friend, but somebody he may have known. Even if I didn't think we was getting back together, I tell him, I was, talking to this person, mess with this person. Even if their attitude has changed, you can't never say that I didn't tell you or nothing like that. If that makes any type of sense. So in relationships, Aries are very solid and serious relationships. But when Aries are just playing around most of the time, Aries, they could be very free and big before, don't take nothing really seriously. But in serious relationships, we're very devoted people, and people will never forget us. And I'm talking about when you're in a real commitment. But all that crazy stuff, that's my last two relationships. People try to paint me out as crazy. I'm not freaking crazy. It's like I don't like people that do certain things. Like just like little stuff you do. I be in there cooking and just be in there saying something smart. And it'll be like a real, just like little silly stuff that a person will say. I don't even think of just like little stuff. I feel like sometimes people be trying to poke at me to get a reaction out of me, trying to make me mad. And then when you put your hands on them, then they'll play the victim. But I'm not the type of person that if you just say something crazy to me, I put my hands on you. It's like it gotta add up. And remember too, that my Scorpio ex was a little hands on too. He ain't never just like knock me out or nothing like that, but he used to get kind of pushy and shove in, just like little silly stuff. So it's not about grab and stuff. So it's not about me just, if you say something I don't like, I'm gonna hit you in your mouth or something like that, or I'm just gonna fly off the handle. I don't like disrespect. For example, like that guy online, this silly guy online or whatever, and I won't say his name, but if you've been following me, you know what I'm talking about. I really used to admire him, really used to have a crush on him, really used to like him. And I don't like all the mind games. I don't like, regardless of the magic, I don't like being disrespected and talk to underneath my clothes, and then it just really degrading stuff. And I don't care who's used to hearing it. I don't like stuff like that. And then when I respond, it's like people are trying to act like, what? Like you just saw how even if you don't have money in a situation, people completely act like they're ignorant to what they say to you. And then if you say something back, you get smart or just go hard. Because one of the reasons why I go so hard when I'm checking people and they just feel totally exposed is because I'll be friendly with a person, admire them, and give them respect, and in return, regardless if it's magic or not, I was met with disrespect, and I never came at a person like that. So that's one of the things that you be sitting up there like, and it's embarrassing because it's like I publicly put certain people on my page, publicly admired a certain person, publicly did this, and it's like trying to make a fool out of me. But when I respond and try to speak up for myself, then people, I don't play games like that, and it's like that's kind of like witchcraft, and even if you don't know you're doing it, mind trickery, and a demonic trait to try to sit up there and try to make a fool out of somebody and then sit up there and play victim. That's demonic. I don't like people that play games. I don't like people that know that. I don't like people that do stuff, and just because I've dealt with that narc and stuff like that, it's like they know how you feel about them. They know you. Like, this is what I heard. when we first broke up, the narc did that to leave me in confusion in a state of like distraught, like what's going on? Because he wanted me to sit and wait and not mess around and do the magic on me, put me on hold while he go fuck around and try to come back. But the point of it is, if a person really care about you, they don't even want you to leave you in a state of confusion. That don't make me be like, that don't, yeah, to a certain point, it play on your mind, because you're like, what's going on? But to a certain extent, it's like it's a turn off, because it's like you waiting on somebody and they playing the game. I don't play games like that. I'm not no gold digger type woman that a person, I just want somebody straightforward. They'll turn me off if somebody play games. After a while, first it's kind of cute or whatever, then after a while it's like, oh nah, I don't like bullshit. I don't like playing games. If you're doing something, if you're doing this to somebody and treating somebody in a certain type of way that you know if the situation turned around, you wouldn't want it to happen to you, then that means that I can't rock with you because you're fake. I have to only deal with somebody that's real and straightforward like me. Ain't no shyness or no bullshit when it comes to just being real or going for somebody you really like. It's like either you down with somebody and you like them and you gonna ride with them, or either you just fake and you full of shit. I don't like all them little testing games. I don't. The most I test a guy when I meet him is so, and sometimes I do it on purpose and sometimes I don't. But I'll ask him something and then later on ask it again, and the story will change up, either the story will stay the same. But the bottom line is, if somebody asks me something and asks me something again, I'll just say it flat out. It's gonna be the same thing because it's 100% honest and real. So I don't like being tested like that. To a certain extent, people can play and test a little bit in the beginning, but all that, I don't like stuff like that. It's like it's you slowly start losing interest in the person, and it's always kind of been like that to a certain degree. It's like I never met a partner that was just like, how you say it? I had a Scorpio or whatever, you know, he was silly. He I ain't say that, never mind. All I'm saying is that I just never met nobody that's kind of like on my same mindset. I don't have no time to be leaving and wondering, okay, is the nigga, if he go out with his friends, he gonna go have a one night stand? Cause if you know that you with a girl and you know she ain't gonna do that, regardless if I have friends or not, I don't want to go out or not, I don't do stuff like that. But if you know you have a girl that ain't gonna do that, then why would you do that in a relationship? If you know you have a girl that, if she, just in general, people just get on my nerve. Another thing, like, and I'm trying to make this quick. I just heard something in a reading about somebody said something about, just in general, I'm not freaking crazy or whatever, but or violent, but like the other day I was telling about that guy, my ex. I'm sorry, my mind is scattered, but that my mind is on something else. But that Scorpio ex I had with his cousin, and he was a Muslim, and he used to come over there and say that stuff about that weave all the time, and he had a girlfriend. And he would always come over there and smoke. So this is years ago. He's like, 6 years ago. But he used to come over there and smoke all the time. Him and my boyfriend would smoke, whatever. And I'm not really a smoker. I just do it because my ex used to smoke all the time. Or I'll smoke with people. But that was never really my drug of choice. That's why when I smoke, I used to pass it so fast. So when he come over there and he be saying stuff about that weed, he used to always do that. And he had a girlfriend. Every time he come over there, he just make this long drawn out speech, and to me that's very disrespectful. And I start looking at people and feeling, it's like, that's what I'm saying, you just be sitting in your mind like, I know this nigga ain't finna come over here and say this shit again. Every time he came over there, I knew he was gonna do that and start like agitating me away. And a lot of times, guys that I be in relationships with, most of the time their friends don't like, with the Scorpio, his friends didn't really like me, and I'll go into that. And with the narc, his, not all of them, but most of them, they'll think, oh, she's pretty or stuff like that, but they won't really vibe well. One, because with the Scorpio, it's when I used to visit him before he had his own place, his friends would come over, it was cool, whatever, we chilled, whatever, when he didn't have his own place. But when he got his own place and all them niggas just used to hang out all the time, it's like, it kind of agitated me. Especially if you hustling this dudes I don't know. And especially if it's like after a while, it's a cutoff time. And every day I don't like stuff like that. So it would be a little bit different if it was like a house. And I could be on a big house and I could be on the other side. Or I could really just leave and stuff like that. And just in general, believe it or not, I don't like a lot of all that type of stuff. So in Irvington Village, I kind of developed like a crazy bitch type of attitude. Then as an introvert, I already don't like that. I don't vibe well with certain people. And then on them pills, it's like, I'm gonna say it because I'm already open. Then on the pills, you do anything, a little thing. It's like I'm just like, come on, man, like it's time to. They need to go, and I'm never gonna tell them that. But it's just like you develop like a bitch type of attitude, and people out she trying to run stuff. But remember, I was the one that helped got the place. So when you help somebody out like that, and then they get on, and then they start acting like, oh, you trying to run stuff? I did this on my own. It kind of has a distaste in your mouth because you're like, nigga, if it wasn't for me, nobody would have helped you. My Scorpio ex has, remember I'm just saying this so people can relate this to their situations or whatever, but my Scorpio ex had a lot of, gangster cousins and stuff like that. They used to always be ready to ride and jump and fight and all the other stuff, but when it came down to really helping them and stuff like that, nobody was to be found. So if it wasn't for my aunt and my family, we even had half of that stuff. I used to go to the store, go shopping, he used to give me money, I get my stuff, go come bring him like some stuff, some shirts and stuff like that, help with groceries and stuff, help with just like stuff like that. And it's like it's just a disrespect, and you feel disrespect. You'll never keep on saying it was you never keep on saying it. But after in an argument, that does kind of come up because it's like you overstepping your boundaries, you being disrespectful. So that's one of the things that used to piss me off with the narc. His friends used to come over all the time in efficiency. It's not that I just didn't want nobody over there. It's the deficiency. So it's like everybody in one room, except for like the bathroom at a door in a little hallway room or whatever. So people just do stuff and they try to make it seem like I'm just a real evil, mean type of person, and I'm stuck up, and it's not nothing like that because I'm cool and I'm friendly. I don't like a lot of foolishness, and if you was a real man, you would respect it, and you'd be like, man, well maybe I should just go out with my homeboys and you come back or whatever. Like nobody wants to, and everybody knows that if you're a guy, you have an attractive girlfriend, and there's a lot of dudes around, it is gonna be like, oh, she's son, blah blah blah, which in some cases. And some guys I talked to, and it was nothing serious. And their friends would be like, oh, okay, it's friends. But in serious relationships, people I'm really, really serious relationship, even if it's before living with dudes I'm really solid with, it's a real relationship. I'm not just like dating somebody. I take that very serious. And then when I'm mature and older, I don't do stuff like that. It's like, so I don't even understand why a dude would bring a whole bunch of girls around his homeboy, knowing you have around his girlfriend, knowing you have an attractive girlfriend, then get mad if she tell you, he give you the side. Just people do like really, really stupid stuff. It's not that I would have a partner and I just want him all to myself or don't want nobody around me. It's just as an introvert, I kind of value privacy, and I just, like I said before, all I want is somebody that's gonna be respectful, talk to me respectful, and I'll show them respect. If you do something or say something out of line, you don't know how to apologize, and you playing the victim, it's gonna be a problem. Cause I know how I am. If I fuck up, I'm gonna tell you, man, I fucked up, and I'm sorry, blah 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 blah. I shouldn't have said this like this. I shouldn't have did this. I had a bad day. So I don't all they try to paint me out to be crazy and all of this stuff. Like I just fly off the handle. It's not. Ask people what they do. In publicly, you can see what people do. It's a reader I go to, and she said this is a while back a reading she did. She said it's a spiritualist online, and she like to, people see me in a nice way. It's like a good leader, role model, blah 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 blah. She said she trying to make you look bad. Several people told me that, excuse me, they said she's trying to make me look bad, trying to make me do stuff, try to poke the bear, fly out the handle. And I told you a little bit of stuff that people do. But then they'll be so quick, oh, she's this, she did. Because they know a lot of people look at you with respect and they try to get you out of your character. So the only people I can figure they do stuff like that are demons. I don't like playing, sitting around waiting. I don't like people that try to test me. I don't like people that try to get a rise out of me because that's an enemy. That's not a friend.